Good morning guys. So it is 7:30 in the morning and today we would be again talking about IELTS exam. Listening we covered in the last class and today we are supposed to be talking about in speaking section. So guys, before directly diving into the topic, I would like to ask you this question that whenever you want to judge someone on the basis of his speaking skills, which criteria you think that you would be looking for in the speaking skills? If I categorize them and write it over here, it could be like pronunciation. What do you think we would be talking about here in pronunciation? So it is basically the way you pronounce the word. So guys, for a moment, let's take an example here of this word no, right? You call it no. Why we can't call this word as kano? Because see, it starts with K. And see, if you go back to the date when you first heard about this word, you would be having this confusion that why we are not calling it as kano, right? So now you are having this clarity that this is no. How? Because we have studied about it. Now guys, fluency could be simply defined as your ability to speak with speed, accuracy and proper expression. So guys, in order to summarize this for you, I would say that the way in which your brain is working can be shown in your fluency. Now guys, if you are fluent in any language, it would simply define that your mind is very clear with the language, right? Your thoughts can easily be channelized by you. Now, as far as the grammar is concerned, it is simply the way you have structured your sentence. If you would be using wrong grammar, the sense of entire sentence could change. So you have to take care of this thing, that how you are using the grammar of any language for say. Now guys, vocabulary can simply be taken as your awareness. The more you know the different words of the same meaning, it shows that you are aware in the market. So this is how you can say that you can make your sentence impressive, right? So suppose if I say that I vividly remember that during my school days I used to involve in the activities related to science. So I just made this sentence here, but I use the word vividly here. What we mean by the word vividly is that I strongly or clearly remember that event that happened during my childhood or during my school days. So this is the way how you can just show your vocabulary in your sentence. For that, I would suggest just read new things, read newspaper. What happens is sometimes we don't find newspaper very interesting, right? This happens with a lot of students. We just ignore it. So what you can do, you can just switch to the English movies or English songs, right? So that would take care of your entertainment and education. So edutainment you can follow over there, and from there also you can learn a lot of things if you are not a newspaper person. Fine. So guys, this speaking section could take about 11 to 15 minutes. Guys, there are 3 parts of this test. In part 1, there is an introductory question. For instance, when you enter the class, after a few minutes when the round starts, they will ask you for the few questions related to your life or whatever it could be, but it would be just an introductory questions. So the thing is, your answer should be small, right? Don't give a long answer over there. So after 2 to 3 minutes, they could like start with the cue card. So this is the second part of this section. What happens in cue card, there would be a topic. I could even mention here in the video few topics related to the cue card. So you can just observe this topic and then you will get a 1 minute of preparatory time. So you will get a paper over there and then you can write few points. And remember guys, remember that you don't need to write a complete sentence over there in the paper. You should be very short and precise while writing this, right? Because otherwise your time would be wasted over there. Then after a minute, the examiner will stop you from writing anything like that, and then you have to start speaking. And guys, don't just oppose the examiner, right? Whatever they ask you for the instruction, just do follow that, and that too politely. See, one more thing is there guys, you don't need to panic, right? Don't think that what would happen if a topic would come that I don't know anything about. See, you have to just make things out of it. It doesn't matter. See, what we used to do in BTech is when we get some kind of a question where we don't know anything about it, what we do here, we write the related answers, right? So you have to just make the relations. Anyhow, there is nothing like that. You cannot say anything about a topic. See, if I talk about myself, I can also agree with you that there are various topics that I don't know much about. For example, if you talk about the food or clothing, these domains I do not know much about them. That's the thing. This test is about your speaking skills, not about your knowledge skills, right? Are you getting this point? They don't want you to be a very knowledgeable person. They want that you should be a sense-making person, right? There should be a sense. See, this is also a skill, right? That you don't know anything about it and still you are making something related out of it. So you will get a positive remarks based on that. Then we have the part 3 of this session, and in part 3 they would again ask you a few questions like the introduction session, but here the question would be related to your cue card topic. Just remember in the entire session that the test is about speaking skills, not about your knowledge. Okay guys, in this segment we are going to talk about few tips on how you can improve your speaking skills and how you can actually perform better in the entire exam session. Guys, I will directly start with this ninth tip because when I was writing this, I thought that this is a very important point, right? We should be talking about it. So the question here is, while speaking, does expressions matter or what? Suppose you find two people. First person is trying to express their thought and the other person is just sitting over there and he is speaking without any expressions. So whom would you say that is a better speaker in this case? So I think all of you would choose the first one. Why? Because see, the expressions are like a tadka in the dal, right? Are you getting this? So guys, fundamentally what is happening here is your content is getting improved because of your expressions, right? So this is the importance of expressions and you should try to inculcate this habit of doing it. So the thing is how you could do that. So for example, as I mentioned you earlier also, that if you are watching few animated movies or even if you are watching few podcasts, for example, if you follow Sadhguru sessions, you would see that how he is expressing his thoughts. It is simply an art and try to be an artist over there. Fine. Now the other tip to improve your speaking, what you could do here is voice recording. See, this is also a great exercise, or even you can do a video recording either. It would also include your expressions, right? So what you can do is, suppose you start your recorder and speak over a topic. So take any topic, whatever you feel like, try to speak on that topic for a minute or two and let's see how you do that. And after doing that, stop the recording and just listen to it very carefully. So you would get the idea that in which area you are having these problems, because no one else would judge you better than you only. For example, if I talk about myself, the problem that I have here, I have observed that while speaking, I speak too fast, right? So right now it would be okay for you, but in various situations I have seen that sometimes I speak too fastly. When I was having few sessions in Cambly, so if I haven't talked about Cambly here, then just wanted to tell you that Cambly is also a great app where you can have the conversation with native speakers. After doing that session, I observed that I was speaking very fastly and they are very soft in their approach. You can observe your mistakes and you can just with time solve them out. 24 hours challenge. See, this is a simple game what you can do here. You don't need to speak to some other person like for 24 hours or something like that, but you have to speak to yourself. Suppose if I want to talk with myself, what I would do, I would simply just explain this situation to myself that right now it is 8:15 in the morning and I am doing a class of speaking session of IELTS, and then after doing this I would go for the editing, and I think editing would take around 1 to 2 hours. Then after that I'll upload it and then I will decide for the thumbnail and how to design the thumbnail. How to design the thumbnail over the PixArt that I would look for. So this is something what you can do, right? Just talk to yourself and do that for 24 hours. It will actually help you a lot, right? Suppose I'm the examiner and I'm asking you this question that do you like ice cream? So I think you should not answer just like on yes or no basis. Why? Because see, you are coming here for speaking test, right? And if I'm asking you something that I'm expecting that you would speak, right? What I want you to speak here. This is not something like a MCQ test. You can say that yes, I love ice cream and recently me and my family went to a so and so restaurant and we ordered this ice cream and the taste was unbelievable. I was really enjoying this dish, and later on we again decided to go to the same restaurant the very next day. So you can make anything out of it, right? See, right now I'm whatever coming to my mind, I'm just speaking, but the thing is it is actually working. So this is how you get a proper band. Now just I want to stop here for a minute and just wanted to tell you this thing that guys, in your examination you are getting judged not for your nature, but how can you fake it? See, the thing is this would be a very wrong way of discussing the thing with you, but I think it's important for you to understand that whatever your nature is. For example, I have seen a lot of people who are very angry in their nature. They get into the debate thing. That is what I wanted to convey you, that they basically get into the argument thing. So what I want you to understand here is you have to fake it in the exam, right? You have to just fake your personality over there. See, saying no is not a problem. I'm not saying no is you have to say yes to everything, but the thing is saying no to a degree is also you have to take care of. If you want to score good, just be formal, be polite and be humble in your approach. it would really work out for you. Argument never works out, right? And do remember that these sessions are recorded, right? So for rechecking, they do have these samples with them. Don't diverge from the topic. Yes, this is also important. You forgot the main idea that examiner wants you to speak about, and you are doing something else over there. For instance, I am the examiner and I want you to speak over a chair. But what you did here is you initially said that chair and table both are made up of woods. So now you are starting with the characteristics of table. So remember this thing, I know both of them are made up of woods and your reasoning is fine, but the thing is I want you to speak over chair, not the table. So don't go to the table, just stick to the chair. Yeah, don't make derogatory comments. Yeah, that is fine. Again, don't use any form of irrelevant language. So this could be a very negative factor that could reduce your marks. See, why this kind of nature is not appreciated or you are getting negative marks over there. After giving this exam of IELTS, you are supposed to move into some other country. And do you want that any country would allow the person who is coming from outside and having a very bad nature? Every country would hesitate because this person could do anything to the country if they move in, right? That's the thing here. I hope it helps. Guys, do subscribe to the channel if you like the video. See you in the next one. Bye. Take care.